And, I think in front of you, students listening to you and speak respectfully. Also, I want to make it very clear that we understand that there's, the issue of the policy that we passed last month. Actually, it was a policy that we already have in place in which we expanded the language. This is a policy that kind of brought us up to an equal place with some of our other with major school districts in the state, with Houston and Dallas. So we're on a par with those things, and we are going to make sure that the policy, as it's stated, is easy access on our website, and we can have it available, hard copy at schools, just to make sure that it's available to everyone. But the conversation we had and what we put into policy was the idea of not discriminating in hiring towards anybody because of those different categories that are listed. And also within the code of our students to understand that there is no bullying to happen in regards to any of those categories. We do want to have respect for all of our students. What we passed last month was not a bathroom bill. It was a non-discrimination. And that's the spirit that we have. We want respect and dignity for all our students. As we go forward and we face the challenges of today, SAISD is committed to making sure that we do have that dignity and respect for all our students. And everybody in this room can help us figure that out. But again, we'll go ahead, we want to listen to everyone, and again, I ask you for respect for everyone that speaks. So, Tiffany, if you're ready with your timer. Our first speaker, and again, all the speakers are not on that one particular topic. So, Nancy Aranda. And I'm going to ask a few other people to come up and be ready near the podium so that we can save on time. Ruth Perez, Alejandra Perez, Kelly Murilla, and Maria Rocha. So if you all would start to move up towards the podium so that you'll be ready to speak. All right, Nancy, thank you.
Good evening. El exiliado mira hacia el pasado, lambiándose las heridas. El inmigrante mira hacia el futuro, dispuesto a aprovechar las oportunidades a su alcance. Mi nombre es Nancy Aranda. Soy estudiante del 12º grado de la preparatoria Thomas Edison. Mi familia hace 6 años decidió emprender a un nuevo camino hacia un país diferente, donde todos nosotros sabíamos que una frontera nos iba a separar. Y no sabíamos cuándo volveríamos a regresar a nuestro país de origen. Desde el primer día que llegamos a los Estados Unidos, nos dimos cuenta de que todo era diferente. No entendíamos la lengua, la comida tenía otro sabor y la gente nos veía con desprecio por no entender su idioma. Además, tuvimos que acostumbrarnos a recibir el nuevo calificativo de ser inmigrante o despectivamente ser llamados huepa. Pero no todos son sin sabores, ya que al llegar aquí mis padres encontraron por fin un trabajo. Todos los días ellos se levantan muy temprano y trabajan.
Gracias, Nancy. For anyone, if this is your first time at a Citizens to be heard, this is an opportunity for the school board trustees to really listen. It's not an opportunity for a back and forth dialogue, which, don't think because we don't answer that we're not paying attention. All right, Luz,
Good evening, my name is Luciana Perez. I work at Edison High School. I am a Spanish teacher, and these are the stories of some of my juniors. Living the American dream shouldn't consist of being scared every second of the day, Eduardo says in my 8th Spanish language class. His face shows fear after realizing that his best friend is facing charges of deportation. And an undocumented high school girl that he invited to prom 2 weeks ago is now detained in an isolated cell waiting for her turn to talk to a judge that will dictate her sentence. Eduardo and his friends keep dreaming the American dream of a country where life is better and safer for everyone, and where opportunity exists according to one's own effort. They keep dreaming because after living in the United States for more than a decade, America is the only country that they know, even though they are undocumented. They dream the American dream mixed with the anxiety of their country state of being undocumented. If education is the mighty tool. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if it was, but Alejandra, right? Am I
Alejandra, yes.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Superintendent Martinez and members of the board. My name is Alejandra Lopez. I'm a teacher and resident of the district. I'd like to start by commending the board's recent actions around the inclusive language added to the district policy and its resolution around our documented students and staff. We have seen firsthand the positive impact on the community when the district takes steps to ensure equity for its students and staff. This week, the district also took steps to follow through on commitments made to provide Know Your Rights information to students and families across the district. And we know that an informational session around immigration is being offered to counselors in the coming weeks. I encourage the district to act with urgency around this issue. In this shifting political climate, we ask the district to be proactive, flexible, and forward-thinking, and to continue to work in partnership with teachers, students, and community members. With the injunction on SB 4, the district has been given an opportunity to continue this momentum by providing Know Your Rights trainings for all teachers and staff throughout the district.
After Kelly is Maria. Maria, again, if you would come more forward. And then Fatima Menendez, Rebecca Flores, and Barbie Furtado. Thank you, Kelly.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Murguia Sandoval, and as a former SISD teacher at Burbank High School, a current teacher educator in San Antonio, a current doctoral student of curriculum instruction at the University of Texas at Austin, a current member of SA Rise, and an expecting mother, I am speaking to you all today with love and logic perspective. My soon-to-be son's potential will be endless, and my husband and I will have this incredible opportunity to shape this unique person and prepare him for an unpredictable future. By a swirling cacophony of luck, love, tragedy, bravery, and coincidence, he will be born an American. He won't quite know the extent his ancestors sacrificed to get here, nor the exact societal contributions they made, but they made him an American. If he were to be born in Mexico or the Philippines or France or Iran, his potential would be no less. And if our nation is full of love, bravery, luck, and coincidence, we could inherit his future. But if our policies, both local and national, are reticent and full of fear, our nation will not thrive.
My name is Maria Rocha, and I stand here before you as a proud SEISD product, having attended Wilson Elementary, Whittier Middle School, and Edison High School. I myself navigated through this education system as an undocumented student who now obtained DACA after graduation from UTSA in 2012. As a district, I would like to thank you for your support in surrounding our undocumented population. We are here to take action steps here towards our undocumented population, and not necessarily DACA, but because it encompasses a small number of individuals. We need to make sure that we are making symbolic movements where we deserve actionable movements happening locally. Our responsibility is for our students to attend school, and we need to ensure all schools are exemplifying a safe and welcoming environment. We need to provide mandatory workshops for teachers rather than making them optional. Earlier this year, we had one sponsored by Viviana Carizales, where only 3 attendees were there.
Maria, thank you. I know that was a little bit difficult for you, so thank you very much.
I oftentimes stutter under pressure.
Don't you worry.
So thank you.
We're fine. Thank you.
My name is Fatima Menendez, and I'm an attorney with Malta. I'm here to the policy to be passed and implemented by the SAISD School Board. That would ensure the safety and the privacy of the undocumented and immigrant students in our district. Last week, Superintendent Pedro Martinez released a public statement where he said, undocumented students represent one of the most vulnerable groups served by the public schools in the United States. He also said SAISD is committed to increasing the support and resources necessary for them to graduate. We would like to see the superintendent and the school board do just that. This new school year is a new opportunity to do so. We ask that you provide mandatory Know Your Rights presentations and pass a comprehensive policy for immigrant students and those undocumented. Thank you.
My name is Rebecca Flores. I reside in this district. I went to school in this district way back. I voted in this district. As a matter of fact, I voted for Mr. Valdez here. I'm here because a little bit ago, when Senate Bill 4 was signed by Governor Abbott, there was a group of us that got together, 3 of us got together, and in a matter of 4 days, we collected 250 people, individuals, organizations, to form this the coalition that we call Pro-Immigrant Coalition, Coalición Pro Inmigrante. That signifies to me the interest among people who live in San Antonio to make sure that we support people who are undocumented against things like SB4, against things like what happened with the young DACA students. You all, and many of you, maybe not all of you, remember what it was like when we were going to high school. You remember the discrimination that we faced. You do remember that. And so we surely can't go back to that kind of treatment of people who are different from us.
Is Jerry Rocha, Charles Flavins, Becky Thayer, Amy Lamb, and Janice Flowers. Again, if you can come forward and be ready. Thank you. Bobby Hurtado.
My name is Bobby Hurtado and I'm the community organizer with Raíces. I am also an immigrant. My mom and siblings and I left fleeing domestic violence in Mexico, and when I arrived in Texas I was 11 years old, and I went to Rhodes Middle School. I was terrified to go to a new school in a new country and I didn't know the language. During this time I was bullied and kids threatened me to call a migra to deport me back to the very violence that I fled, and I believed them. During this time I never felt that the school was a safe place. I was never reassured by school officials that the immigration would not come and get me. I was never given information to take home on how my family could stay safe and if we had any rights. I firmly believe that if I had that information and it was made available to my teachers, they would have been better equipped to help me. If I knew my teachers would help me, I would have felt more comfortable. It was this experience as an immigrant student at SAISD that brings me here today as a community organizer with Raíces. I can only imagine that immigrant students in schools today feel what I felt years ago.
I'm a grandmother of students that are going to be attending school here. I was also a former employee at SAISD. I understand that y'all have implemented procedures and safety factors that have to do with this quote-unquote restroom bill. The problem I have is that when I was an employee here, before these laws were ever implemented, I was not really witness, but I was in the same school when a little girl was raped by a little boy in middle school. My concern is for the safety of my grandchildren, and I hope you take that into consideration.
Charles Flowers.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
Probably my hand. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity for us to speak to this today. Because it's a minute, I'm just going to cut right to the point. Statistically, there are about 6,750 children in SAISD who has undergone sexual violence, most of them girls. And as a result of that, they are traumatized and dealing with that trauma both in home and at school. I want you to imagine just for a moment that you're a middle school or high school girl having suffered that, and a guy who identifies as a girl that day walks into that dressing room or facility. That re-traumatizes that young woman, and I think that your policy needs to be rescinded and thought through as to how to maintain safety for all of the students. Protection for all of the students is what everybody in this room wants, and we encourage you to relook at your policy to maintain safety for every student in the school.
You're welcome to pull that mic down a bit so we can hear you clearly.
Can I give my minute to Renee King, please? She's number 17. I'm just a little nervous.
I'm going down the list as I have it here. Thank you.
Okay, so not only am I here because I'm against this policy that y'all came, and I know it was brought to the attention of people for a month ago that y'all wanted to bring into proposal, but nobody sent me an email and let me know that we know that y'all want to keep up with Houston, Austin, and Dallas, but just because you want to keep up with it means that us, the parents of San Antonio Independent School District, wants to keep up with it. Change that rule and take away that proposition because we didn't agree just because the school board did.
Good evening. I come before you as a mother, a San Antonio taxpayer, and a concerned citizen. I wish to address the sexuality and bathroom policy. I have 4 children, 2 of which attend public school in San Antonio. My younger 2, my older 2 have attended as well. I need to say, I am not here to judge somebody's choice in gender. I am not here to judge any of that. What I am here to say is that my concern about this issue is first and foremost the safety of all the students and teachers that this policy would affect. I have concerns that some identifying as a gender enters a bathroom to which they identify and catch those in the restroom off guard, which could result in conflict, bullying, or harm to that individual. I also have a concern that those inside the restroom may feel victimized regardless of what the intent is of the individual who entered the bathroom. They may have absolutely no malicious intent, but the effects can still be the same. Last year, my high schooler went to school with what is now known as the medical center rapist.
Flowers, I'm a pastor's wife here in the SAISD school district, and we're standing here to advocate on behalf of the nearly 30,000 uninformed parents of the San Antonio Independent School District. Parents who send their children off to, for an education, and they were never informed about these policies. And so many of the SAISD school parents, they don't have time to maybe attend these board meetings, but they should not be kept in the dark. And so, based upon a 300 signature petition from a non-taxpaying student, has impacted more than 54,000 students in the district. And that's unfair. That's not fair. And parents should have been informed. Send out information to parents. Let them decide if they would like to have a child.
We want to proceed in good time, and we don't want people cut off at the end because it's run out of time. So, please keep that in mind. Christopher Williams, and then Jamie Rose Williams, Jennifer Clark, and Julia Webster. I hope I'm getting close to it, and Jack Finger. If you would all, again, oppose the contract. Okay, we're ready for Christopher Williams.
How are you doing today? Thank you for giving us the time. If at all possible, my wife, who lives next as well, we would like to rescind our time for pastoral hours here.
I'm sorry, that's not within the policy.
That's fine. So my concern about the bill is your second core belief on the SAISD school district webpage is we are responsible for the education and safety of every student. I'm a soon-to-be father, and I can't help but think what safety issues this raises for my child. I can't help but think, why wasn't the public more informed? And I can't help but imagine what a world would look like when we're able to discreetly pass these things that everybody is victim to, including the people that are on the outskirts, the people who are on the fringe. I'm for protecting all gender, all students.
My name is Jenny Rose Williams. I don't believe that anybody's rights should be imposed upon or put on anybody else. And the fact that you are letting this happen without informing everybody is not how democracy works. Young women have issues that were separated. You all were grown up in a situation where you got to choose and you guys had the privacy to use whatever bathroom suited your sex. And now you're enforcing children that don't have that right. You guys grew up with liberties for a reason. They were set in place because women had menstrual cycles, because women have different body parts. It doesn't matter what you identify as. Physically, you're not the same. And you shouldn't traumatize other children by seeing things they're not ready to see. And being part of something that they're not ready to be part of.
I'm going to ask for disrespect. The people cannot hear me calling them. Please, let's proceed with a little more decorum as far as, please don't be so loud in between. I don't mind you expressing, a positive expression for people, but please, keep it down so that you can at least hear when I'm calling you. All right, Jennifer Clark. I'm here. Okay. Then the next person is Julia. And Julia, say it for me. Thank you.
Good evening, board members. I'm here because I'm concerned that the new gender policy opens the door to allow students and employees to access the showers, locker rooms, and restrooms of the opposite sex. I'm a San Antonio resident. I own and pay school taxes on 2 properties in San Antonio. I went to Franklin Elementary, Whittier Junior High, and I graduated from Madison High School and Trinity University. It's my understanding, my primary concern is that it's my understanding you didn't vet this policy with your customers. Yeah. Your customers, I would assume, are the administrators, teachers, students, parents, and most importantly, the people who build the schools, supply the schools, maintain the schools, pay the salaries, which would be the taxpayers. Come on. In less than a week, we celebrate the 230th anniversary of the signing of the American Constitution. It's been over 150 years since the end of the Civil War, almost 100 years since the end of World War I. I'm 56 years old, but I don't know who's had many
Madam President, other members of the board, my name is Jack M. Finger, and on August 21st, all of you deceived all of us. Yeah. Special rights to homosexuals, and all you have on that board's agenda is something called approval of revisions to board policies. A bunch of gobbledygook. And you only gave us 3 days advance notice on it. 2 of them were on the weekend. Come on. And why all the silence on this? Because you, Israel, said you wanted to do it quietly and privately so as to apparently avoid this controversy. I'm sorry, where is the transparency? Where you people claim your integrity. What happened, Mrs. Rail? Yes. I'm in the Martinez district. I expect you to rescind this, madam, and I expect you to have news conferences and public hearings next time you even think of doing this again. Yes.
Renette King, Phil Sevilla, and Felix Romo. The first one was Megan Smith, if I'm saying it right. Is Megan Smith here? All right, and if I just call your name, please keep close to the mic.
My name is Megan. Thank you, President, Superintendent, and members of the board. I'm here as the Vice President of DSU, which
is our city's premier LGBTQ student program. I'm a proud member of this year's class of leadership at ISD. And I just wanted to say thank you for improving the non-discrimination ordinance, and I would ask that you continue to protect our city's most vulnerable students, including DACA students. Thank you.
I want to thank the board for allowing me this opportunity to share my thoughts. I am the program director at DSU, and I work with a lot of youth who attend SAIC schools who have expressed to me in very emotional terms the importance of what you have passed. They believe it to be something that supports their very existence within the plastic weeks, right? Something that keeps them safe from harm. And so I want to thank you on behalf of those youth for doing the right thing, regardless of what anyone else will say. They are so indebted to you, but not only indebted to you, but they are proud of what you do. And I am proud as well. And I want to thank you a lot.
For having us today. My name is Renee King, and I stand before you as a person who was molested as a child, and there is great trauma in a child that has been molested, is forced being arrested with someone from the opposite sex as a child. And this policy discriminates against children who have been abused. So I stand before you on behalf of the most endangered children, which are those who have been abused. Please protect all of our children.
Thank
you.
Thank you for having us, giving us a chance to talk. I have just a few references I'd like to give you. You could kindly take them down, or if you have someone taking it down. First one is Walter Heyer, H-E-Y-E-R, Walter Heyer. He's been speaking all over the country and on transgenderism, and his website is sexchangeregret.com. The second one is the president of the American College of Pediatricians, Michelle Cretella, C-R-E-T-E-L-L-A. Please look them up, because right now we're dealing with a lot of junk science and a lot of politicization of a very serious subject about the privacy and safety of our children. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll read it over and I'll do it.
And just a second, please. Thank you. Diana Romo is next. Victor Kupachia, Chief. Alba Anilar and Gabriel Garcia. All right, thank you.
My name is Felix Romo, and Ms. Randall, I like to bring out that some of you have the word trusted before your name. I know one of them that I saw in the video, okay, is if you're going to have the word trusted before your name, and you will be trusty enough to let the people of the Senate School District know what's going to be passing, and not for us to hear later on what law passed and didn't pass. Okay, you're going to have that tie with the members that do have it, if they would be trusty enough to let the people, the taxpayers of the San Antonio School District, that what's going to happen so that the parents to come and have that chance to vote. We have 2 of our branches.
Thank you.
My name is Diana Romo, and we have lived, Felix is my husband, we have lived in the SAISD school district for 34 years. We pay taxes in this district, our children graduated from SAISD schools, and our grandchildren attend schools in this district right now. We support the rescinding of the newly implemented policies regarding their sexual orientation and gender identity. We are very disappointed in the way that the implementation of said policy was handled. We believe that the parents of SAISD were purposely left out of the discussions and that the issue, they were left out of the discussions, and that SAISD was in secretive about the implementation. We believe that the parents of the students should have a voice, and we would like for you to bring this issue out to the parents and taxpayers of SAISD for a vote. Thank you.
He said, and he said, I quote, "Its time has come that Christians must vote for honest men and take consistent ground in politics. God cannot sustain a free and blessed country, which we love and pray for, unless the church will take right ground. It seems sometimes as the foundation of this nation are becoming rotten, and Christians seem to act as if they think God does not see what they do in politics." End quote. And you are witnessing what Christians see.
Good evening, my name is Alba Avila. I am a proud SAISD teacher and resident. First and foremost, I'm grateful and appreciative of SAISD and all these community groups for understanding the urgency to stand with our undocumented students, families, teachers, and community. At SAISD, we are proud to be student-centered and have our students' best interests at heart, whether it is protecting their gender identity or protecting their immigration status to ensure the best education they deserve. We will continue to push more forward-thinking policies and trainings to ensure the bright futures that we promise every day to our students. These dreamer stories are real and are valuable, and we must put our own adult biases aside and understand that students are first and 100% of our future. We must do what is right for them.
I would also like to thank the board members for the statements that they have made and the strides they've made forward about the undocumented students as well as the policies that have changed. However, many parties have been trying to work with the district specifically on the issue of undocumented students for months, and it's concerning that the most powerful actions have only been taken recently when your district student, staff, families, and community have been ready from the beginning to contribute and act. There have been long stretches of one-sided communication with many parties in the district offices that have led to time and opportunity being lost. While we have waited, school districts at our neighboring cities such as Austin are assuring that their families have access to workshops that will better prepare them for what is to come. Other districts in our own cities such as Harlandale ISD and charter schools such as KIPP have already taken the initiative to train their staff mandatorily so that they are well informed and can better disseminate crucial information to their students and more importantly the community at large, of which our schools are such a crucial part. The most discouraging part of this is that it flies in the face of our district core belief that we are responsible, as someone said earlier, for the safety and education of every student. We are. I too hope.
Next we have Liz Eflet, Sofia Sepulveda, Christina Cabello, and I'm not sure if this person is on or off, Jimmy Robles, and Bill Gresher.
I stand before you proud as a public school educator. I have the honor of teaching outstanding, brave, compassionate young people at Luther Burbank High School, Friday Southside. On their behalf, I wanted to thank the board and celebrate the district's social justice leadership, centering the protection of LGBTQIA students and staff members in its adoption of new non-discrimination policy language and for this evening's resolution in support of our undocumented students. I ask that you continue to lead for social justice by prioritizing the safety of our undocumented students, staff and their families in your policy decisions, by continuing to move with the urgency that we've seen in the last few days. I ask the board to commit to ensuring that revised SAISD policies guarantee that our students will not come into contact with ICE through their interactions with SAISD police, and that they commit to disseminating that message to our families. I ask that the board recommends that all SAISD school staff be trained on their rights and responsibilities as district staff, and that the district move with urgency to begin this process. I look forward to collaborating with Chief Curiel on the new draft of district.
Hello
I represent Our Revolution San Antonio on behalf of the family. The rumor is trans children in the restrooms endangers others. I assure you there is no proof, evidence, fact, or stats to prove that. However, there is plenty of proof and evidence, research to prove otherwise. Trans children have been attacked, bullied, and killed because of who they are. The idea of trans children attacking others is false. I encourage you to stand by your research and statistics. Research proves the only ones at risk are trans students. Protect your trans students. And you have the same body parts as the woman that you're transitioning into. So a student, a young girl, isn't going to see anything that they shouldn't.
Okay, let me see. Oh, okay, I think you're on the next page. I'm calling for Jimmy Robles. All right, and then Christina Cabello. Thank you. Well, thank you for your understanding. Okay, you're going to pull the mic down?
Hi, my name is Christina Cabello, and I used to be a part of the LGBT community. And I know that a lot of the youth are affected transgender-wise, whether in girl or boy bathrooms. But let me explain this. This issue started on the playground, elementary, on the playground. The day my mother cut my hair short in elementary, I was called a boy. I was told I would never get a date by the time I hit 6th grade. I had a lot of friends who also dealt with the same issues. Many went on to be LGBT. The reason why our LGBT are fighting for this right is to be a voice. But it affects all kids, and it's not good. The real issue is to not affect all kids, and to make all kids feel uncomfortable. Are we really fighting for our LGBT youth, or are we standing up for the bullies, the ones that call your little girl ugly enough to be a boy just so she chooses to believe it? I am now happy with who I am, and I'm now happily married with a child on the way. But if I were to have a little boy who said because he saw a little girl being bullied because she was ugly, if my son saw this young girl in the bathroom,
Thanks. Bill Brusher. Okay. And
It's Bill Brewer. I hope I'm not being graded on penmanship. I'd like to talk to you about the veteran bill and just start off with a reference.
all right, please let him speak.
In a 17 November 2016 article, Dr. Richard B. Ferrati, professor of psychiatry at Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine in Cleveland, compared the present transgenderism fad to the popular delusion of the 1980s and 90s, specifically multiple personalities disorder. The notion that several persons inhabit the same bodies as in multiple personalities is not really that much different from the idea a male can be born into the body of a female or vice versa as in transgenderism. So all of history is baggage. We find news that San Antonio Independent School District is signing on to the transgender craze to be disappointed. Let me give you a couple of profiles of children that will present to us as transgender. I have about
Rivera, Nicole Hudgens, Victoria, and Jeremy, and we have Pastor Jimmy Robles again, but so if you would please approach and be ready to speak. All right, Grace Oviedo.
Good evening. My name is Grace Oviedo. I'm Executive Vice President of the San Antonio Alliance. I'm the type of person who likes to read the fine print, and I've read the non-discrimination statement at the bottom of each emails, letterheads, and memos within the SAISD for years. In all my adult life, I read that non-discrimination statement, and yet I knew a part of my life was not covered by that statement. There was something about me that wasn't protected against discrimination. I went to school in this district, I lived in this district, I worked for 30 years in this district, and yet I was one of those that could have been legally discriminated against. I'm glad to say that I don't feel like I was ever personally discriminated against in SAISD, but that's not the same for others. When the unanimous vote was taken last month, I would finally read those words, those 6 words that finally touched me and meant me. On behalf of the San Antonio Alliance, the employees we represent, the students that we serve, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for being
Hi, I'm Titana Rivera. I'm a senior here at the Young Women's Leadership Academy. I just want to take the time to thank the board for letting this happen, allowing this to happen, and also a big thank you to Ruby Polanco, my classmate that I am proud to call my friend. Because of you, Ruby, I now feel more safe on campus, and I know that my school will not discriminate against me and will protect me. Thank you.
Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you. These are examples of privacy violations that have happened in the state of Texas. And my name is Nicole Hudgens, and I'm the policy analyst for Texas Values. We're the largest statewide organization focusing on fairness and freedom in the state of Texas with over 100,000 supporters. And today we're here to stand in support of students and parents who are blindsided by a new policy put on the consent agenda here at SAISD. No student should be bullied or harassed, but this policy is specifically known as a SOGI, Sexual Orientation, Gender Identity Policy, and has been used over and over again to allow boys into girls' showers, locker rooms, and bathrooms all across the country, and it's being litigated to this day. There's even a case that's gone all the way up to the Supreme Court. And these are the exact terms that were used by the Obama administration to redefine sex in Title IX, and then used to coerce schools across the state, across the country, to allow boys into girls' showers, locker rooms, and bathrooms, and vice versa. Our state attorney general led a coalition of 13 state I'm here today as an employee of SAISD and also as a member of the Alliance. I just wanted to say thank you for adding the LGBTQ language to our
Okay, we have Pastor Jimmy Robles up here. I'm going on Alexandra Dean, and then Taylor Dean, and then Danielle Harrigan, Alan Parker, and Sharon Armstrong. And if we could be as soon as possible, because, if we would honestly talk, because our time is. You have a minute, though. Yes.
Hi everybody, I'm Alexandra Dean. I'm a student at UTSA. I don't really have much to say besides I think it's just like really simple. Everybody deserves to feel safe at school. So I think that every teacher, student, everyone that comes into the building should feel safe. And I think that all kids, no matter what they identify as, should be able to go into, it's not even the bathroom though, so I don't know why that's being brought up, but so thank you for doing this policy.
Thank you.
My name is Jeremy. I live in San Antonio, studying at UTSA. I'm just here to indicate my support for the NGO. It's really important to support all of our students, faculty, staff in San Antonio. And I'm just going to say thank you for taking that step forward.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Danielle. I just want to say thank you for putting in place a non-discrimination policy, and thank you to the burden of all the students who are standing up and supporting this as well. I just want to say that promoting hate and discrimination in our communities is not what brings us together. Policies that implement unity, inclusivity, and love are what bring us together, and hate only begets violence and more hate. And I also want to say again, as Alexandra noted, that this is not a bathroom bill, and also as a survivor of sexual assault, that you using this policy to attack the LGBT community as if they're the sexual predators is not okay, that you have to use it.
Thank you, members of the board. My name is Alan Parker. I'm the president of the Justice Foundation. We're a parents' rights advocacy group here in San Antonio. We've sued the district before in the past for violating parents' rights when they have done so, and I hope that we don't have to do that in this case. I have a proposal for you on a policy which is being passed out now, and this will eliminate a lot of the confusion as to what's going to be taught in the school district. The official position, this is the proposed policy, the official position of the SAISD with respect to transgenderism is that there are only two biological sexes and genders, male and female. This should be the official position of the school district on all policies and in teaching materials presented to the students from kindergarten through 12th grade. Children will not be taught that they can be any gender they desire or feel that they are. Children will be taught that sex is biological and immutable. Gender dysphoria will be taught and described as a mental health condition.
My name is Sharon Arnke. I'm a retired pre-K teacher. I'm from Dripping Springs. We have the same exact issue in our community. The issue is basically objective biological reality versus an artificial construct that harms children, that is actually brainwashing and is child abuse, according to Dr. Michelle Patella. It's fixed before birth. We just had a mother describe her son and she's pregnant. This is fixed before birth. It cannot change. And a friend of mine, David Pickup, deals with people with gender dysphoria and same-sex attraction. He says he has not found one yet who has not suffered some kind of rejection in their childhood, something going on in their home. So I agree with Alan that the official position of San Antonio ISD should be that there are reality, two biological genders, male and female, they're born that way, and that children will not be recruited, they will not be taught that they will not be recruited to be something they're not.
What I'm asking for is for you to be respectful for the remaining teachers. Be respectful for everyone. Yeah, both sides. For the remaining speakers. We have Michelle Brea, Sandra Apolinar, Gloria Rivas, Patrick Von Dolen, Deborah Patish, and Laura Servan and Mario Bravo. All right, please begin.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Grajeda, and I'm here as your constituent, as an educator in SISD, and as a proud teacher of Ruby Polanco and all of my students. I first wish to thank Steve Leschlow of District 1, my district, for affirming my continued support of his representation by voting to provide all children with a safe learning environment. As a mother, as a teacher, as a community member, I wish to applaud your forward-thinking and educated policy regarding discrimination. As a human being, I expect nothing less from those with whom I have entrusted the young people of my campus and of SAISD. Thank you, trustees, for listening to the youth of your district who must step in for willfully ignorant adults and lead the way to a better future.
All right, again, I ask you to come back to the imagination of our students being here in the room with us, our young students who are looking for models. And please be careful on the kind of things you say about others. Next is Sandra Molina. All right, Gloria, there's no Sandra? All right. Yes, please proceed, Gloria.
Give you a quote here. My hope is true is to be self-evident. That all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberties, and the pursuit of happiness. Where in the added language that you inconspicuously added to your doctrine does it address and accommodates the emotional needs of both sets of students? Where? The students that are unsure of what gender they are, and the other set of students that are secure in who they are. Where does it address both needs? Where are the accommodations for both? Now, to feel at ease, the unsure students, all they need is their own restroom that says either boy or girl. Why rob the other students of their peace of mind?
Good evening. My name is Patrick Lundell, and I represent the San Antonio Family Association, over 3,000 supporters, and I'd like for all the taxpayers in this room to stand up who want to have a voice, who should have a voice. Please stand up for the White Run the White initiative. Stand up for the support of the floor sections and see you. To see that we're not standing here individually, we're standing here collectively. Black, white, and brown are the best for our students. It is through objective truth we find solidarity. Truth and solidarity can only be found in scholastic consistency and intellectual integrity, and the democratic process of transparency. Your own core value of safety has been violated, as well as parental trust. Safety is continually discussed in terms of risk avoidance and risk reduction. Risk avoidance, things like abstinence, no drinking and driving, no smoking, no texting and driving, no bullying, male and female facilities. Risk reduction, contraception promotion, drink from a paper bag, smoke a filter cigarette. You cannot have it both ways.
And now for a change. I was informed that there was going to be discussion about a position in San Antonio District that is, I don't think it's called parent-school liaison. Is that not happening tonight or no? Anyway, I was asked by a parent-school liaison at my school to come and speak up for the need for more finances for that position. When I was an elementary student over 50 years ago, this position probably was not necessary. My mother and a large percent of the other mothers in the schools I attended were in the majority. They did not have to work and were happy to volunteer, as this person in the position and this school is that I know. But I just found out that these people who are the main person between, in some cases, between the administration and other staff of the school and the parent.
Laura Servant. And Mario Bravo? All right, then that concludes our citizens to be heard. We want to-
I'm here, I was waiting for the first report.
Oh, okay.
I'm here to support any and all measures to show students and staff love and make them feel safe. Now I see that we're divided in this room, and that may mean different things to different people. For me, that means keeping and expanding the NDO and providing opportunities for all children with or without papers. Earlier today, I saw a post on Facebook that said, "We're so divided as a nation that I sometimes wonder if God is sending us these storms to bring us together again. We're seeing Americans love and help each other again instead of fighting. And I see us divided on this issue. Recently, we had a controversial issue in our city in which people showed up with assault rifles. And when you show up with guns, you don't send a message that you're here to have a conversation. But I don't see any assault rifles here tonight. And so, I think that some people may be here to would be willing to have a conversation. And I want to encourage each one of you to do that, to have a conversation. So if you're wearing a yellow shirt, find someone who isn't. If you're not wearing a yellow shirt, find someone who is. But do it with love. Do it for the children. Do it with a sense of understanding.
Thank you. I want to thank you all. Some of you had to stop mid-sentence, in the middle of a very serious statement you wanted to make, and you stopped anyway, and that was very respectful, and it was very helpful, so we got a chance to hear everyone. Obviously, we feel differently about different things, but we're all in the business of wanting to show that love to our students, show the respect and the dignity. And again, we can't stop listening to one another because we want to do that in the best way possible. Again, we will be posting the policy on our website and make it available in hard copy. And please read it understanding that why we say we do not have a bathroom policy, because if we take a look at it, there's no reference to that. And again, we thank you all for all the time we made tonight. Thank you very much. So, we should not have time for that. I'd like to ask those of you who are not staying for the remainder of the meeting, we'll take a few minutes so people can exit the room. Again, thank you so very, very much for coming down and sharing your time.
are you?
My name's Julie Wecker.
Julie.
I just want to let you know my husband and I voted for you in the primaries.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. I hope so.
The contract is there.
So, do you have a car?
Yes, you do.
I'll take money.
My children failed San Diego. I found also to get because she wasn't a resident of San Diego, much less a visitor.
That's true. It's actually like even if I am like, he just got me on like this.
Thank you so much.
I don't read it.
So I'm asking you to be quiet, and if you talk, please go out in the hall. I'd like to ask our officers to help remind people that we need them to go out into the hall if they want to continue
Nothing like pictures like you're somebody's girlfriend running up there. Oh my god, this is so good. Your earrings look great.
Officers, just need to remind people we want them to be
Ready for
our helpers are home, we can stay and talk down the hall if we require enough for our next business. Thank you.
Just so you know, I can Google that right. Okay, thanks.
And we are going to continue on with our governance issues. The first one is the approval of a resolution to seek protection of residents and educational opportunities of district students arriving in the United States as children. Our secretary is not here, so I'd like